for watching. I'm here with Amir. Say hi. For his 28th week of life update and his 6-month stat update. So I'm going to get into that, and I will talk about that a little bit later, and also his first solid experience, his first solid food experience. I'll talk about that. But I'm not going to talk about it too much. I'm going to upload a clip of his first time trying the food, and I talk a little bit about it in that clip. It's like 2 minutes long or something like that. And he's just going to sit here and bang on my desk like a drum, so don't mind him. Yeah, so with the 28th week, he has pretty much been doing the same thing. He's sitting up really well. A couple times I've had to pick him up because he kind of toppled over, but he's doing really, really well. Sitting on his own. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. Sorry guys, getting my mommy mode voice there. Yeah, and the comfort nursing thing, that's kind of getting on my nerves, really. I talked to my doctor about it, and I'll talk about that towards the end here, but he's been getting up like 4 or 5 times a night, and he just will not go to sleep without my boob in his mouth. He will not. And not just go to sleep. He has to be like in a deep sleep, because he's been like sleeping, and you know, his hands start moving back, and I'll take it out. He used to be okay with that, but now, nope, he'll cry until I give it to him again. So, yeah, that's pretty much been on my nerves. I've been getting on my nerves because I have to get up for work in the morning, and I just want to obviously be as fresh as possible and try to get as much sleep as possible, and you know, that's a hard thing to do as a mommy for sure. But yeah, he likes when I do this. I think he did that with the pacifier. He like rubs it on his gums. He loves that. No teeth yet, nothing coming in through that we can see. He's looking at himself in the mirror, or at least he was. Man, there's something else that I was going to talk about, and I remembered yesterday. I'm like, oh, I gotta remember to talk about that, but I don't think it was a big deal. Something that I keep forgetting to bring up, but yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. We didn't really do anything super exciting this week. We went to some like pumpkin night out, this nature center, and it was actually his first experience with like really cold weather. You know, though he was born in April and we had kind of a crappy spring this summer, or yeah, this spring, he hasn't experienced like real cold weather yet, and we took him out, and I was kind of like, should I take him out? I don't know, it was probably 38 degrees Fahrenheit, and I took him out. I put on his fuzzy bear hat and his fuzzy mittens and his jacket and his blanket, and I was worried about him being cold, but he was warmer than all of us. I kept checking on him, and his head was all sweaty, but that was super fun. It was just like this kind of a nature walk with through the nature center with jack-o'-lanterns. I took my nieces because I watched them, and they enjoyed it, and it was kind of a fun little experience. Amir's obviously too young, but we like to think he enjoys those things, and I know he likes to be out. Like, he's such a good boy when he's out, especially. He just likes to look around and see people. Hi. Hi. Okay, so let me just get into the doctor's visit, because that's pretty much it for his 28th week. Well, we took him to the doctor, and he weighs 18 pounds and I believe 11 ounces, so he hasn't really gone up. He's about the same as he was at 4 months. I'm really surprised. I thought for sure he'd be like 20 pounds, because he sure as heck feels like it, especially when I'm carrying that dang car seat. Gosh, that's so heavy. And then he's 28 inches long, and I believe last visit was 26 inches. I'll have to go back and look. I'm sorry. I should have probably done that first, but you know, I wanted to get this done. Yeah, so that's what his stats are. He had 4 shots. He had the pneumonia shot. He had the Heb shot, Heb shot. He had the flu shot, and not the rotavirus. Man, the polio vaccine. He had that as well. So those are the 4 ones, and he actually is sick. He woke up this morning. I forgot to mention that too. He woke up this morning, and he was all sniffly and just plugged up and snoring, and poor little guy. But he seems to be doing pretty well. I did give him some acetaminophen before we left for the doctor's office, because he was really fussy. He seemed like he wasn't feeling too good. He was a little bit warm. I didn't even take his temperature though, to be honest. So I'm like, oh, they'll take it at the doctor's office, and oh, like, oh, Mama's earring. And sure enough, they didn't. So I mean, he appears to be doing really well. When they gave him the shots, he screamed, but he was actually more upset when I had to wake him up and put him on the scale. He was way more upset during that point. And he seems to be doing super well. I haven't given him any Tylenol. It's been, I don't know, probably like 7 hours since I gave him his first dose. So he hasn't seemed like he needed it. He slept for a while, and he woke up in really good spirits. And I gave him his first solid food today. We gave him squash. I made a puree of squash, a butternut squash, and I think he liked it. He made some funny faces, and you'll see in the video, but he kept eating, and he ate almost half the jar, which surprised me. I'll show you what the jar looks like in the little clip, so if you just want to go to that. And it was super easy. I think I forgot to tell you the rest of it, but you just bake the squash, you cut it in half, bake the squash at 400 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, you cut it in half. Did I say that? I don't remember. And I don't put it in water or anything. I just put it on top of tin foil. I used 1/2 to make his baby food, and 1/2 I made butternut squash soup last night, and that was really delicious, by the way. Super easy. Almost as easy as his food. And then I just put in a little bit of water. I didn't even measure it out. Like, I just kind of, I used purified water. I just put in a little bit using the baby bullet, which is awesome, but I haven't used anything else, so I don't have anything to compare it to. But it worked really well. And then I made about 6 of those little bullet cups, and again, you'll see in the clip what they look like if you are wanting to know for reference. And it was half, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to make this whole thing. So I ended up looking up this recipe for butternut squash soup. Really delicious. And yeah, so I'm very excited that we tried his first food. Yay! And we don't have even a high chair yet. So I just put him in the bouncy seat, and he leaned forward. It wasn't like he had any risk for choking. It's a puree, so really probably impossible, I think, to choke. But we are going to get one, I think, this weekend. Yeah, we're going to look at some and pick one out. So yes, with the rest of his doctor's appointment, sorry, this is kind of all over the place. I told her about the issue with the comfort nursing, and it's not really been an issue, but just kind of something that I had a question when she asked me about it. I was like, is he too young to cry it out? And she said that really what I should do, and if I would, if I want to do this, what I should do in this case is put him to bed. And I know this is all over the websites and things like this, but I didn't know if he was like ready to do this. I don't know. It's so hard to decide. There's so many different theories, and going with your gut instinct, and you're always second guessing yourself, or at least I am always. I just want to make sure I'm doing the best thing possible. But yeah, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked. Putting him to bed while he's awake, but not like fully awake like this, but like kind of sleepy, he's getting tired, it's about that time, and then just kind of letting him cry it out, not like too long, but trying it out. But she said the one thing is that you need to be consistent if you're going to do that, and anytime like he wakes up, don't pick him up, don't don't give him your boob unless you think he's hungry, but if you think it's just that he's awake and he wants you just because he's so used to you putting him to sleep, then you need to not do that. So I think this is going to be really hard, but I think I'm going to try doing that. Not right now. I'm going to give him at least a few days to kind of be comforted during his cold, and also because he had the shots. But I don't know, this is going to be really hard too with my husband. He is, oh my gosh, he is so protective. I'm very protective. He is so protective of Amir. Anytime he cries, any little thing, he is just like, oh my god. So I hope that we're going to be able to do this. And she basically told me I don't have to do this right now. If I want to get the sleep, this is more kind of like for myself, so that I don't have to constantly do that, wake up and do that all the time. But she basically told me that I was worried about bad habits. She's like, well, basically your baby or raising a child is all about breaking habits. I mean, getting into a new schedule and just starting something new, it's always going to be breaking a habit. So whenever you're ready, you can do this. And she said that I could do it now or I could do it down the line. Really, you know, you're going to eventually break a habit because you're starting a new schedule. And she made a really good point. So I'm going to talk to my husband. I haven't even talked to him about this, but he's still at work. But I think we're going to try it because for my own sanity, so that I can be as fresh as possible at work, and for him, you know, I think that we need to try it. So that's that. And his doctor appointment went really well. She said he's perfect, he's great, perfectly proportioned, and that he, I don't know if that's like, I didn't know that was something they measured, but I suppose that's something they're looking for. He passed all of his tests, which is basically them just asking you questions. He could do everything that he's supposed to do developmentally, and A+ at our doctor's visit. And I think that's it. So I'm going to upload that clip of him eating his baby food. And I appreciate you watching and have a fantastic week. Bye-bye.